When it comes to life, your fruits are really only going to be as great as the integration of your shadow or your anima or your animus. And the integration of these more diverse and unconscious archetypes is going to result in better relationships, better streams of income, better mindsets, more positivity. And when you have the good coconut milk for the tribe as a man with a full sack, everybody's going to be coming for your fruit, man. Everybody's going to be coming for your fruit. Have you ever noticed how much religionists want to have the fruits of righteousness, and they're like in a quick hurry to be holy. They're in a hurry to be righteous. Oh, well, I know I'm righteous because I read the book. Okay, so reading a book is making you righteous? Oh yeah. I have every verse memorized. Okay, but have you integrated that? Have you embodied the lessons and the teachings of it? Because it's about embodying the lessons of it so that you become the tree that produces the fruit. It's not about you regurgitating information. And there's utility in this, of course, but the man with the full sack, when he is retaining his essence, he's also integrating everything that which is needing to be integrated. It's a natural process that's unfolding. And when you have enough coconut milk to feed the whole tribe, there's going to be many people who want to just come steal your coconut milk. And you think to yourself, there's plenty of coconut milk. I've got plenty of coconut milk, but what you're really seeking is not my coconut milk. What you're really seeking, woman or man, is the kingdom. You're seeking the architecture of the kingdom within. And that's what I am more focused on, is constructing the architecture for people to explore their internal world. And so when I talk about the man with the full sack, I mean this, but I also mean this in the sense of how there's this golden fruit that is arising, metaphorically speaking, and emanating from the man with the full sack's being. And yet it seems like so many people are in a hurry to try to get the fruit to be ripened on their own tree, or to just take somebody else's fruit. They want to take somebody else's coconut tree, man. That's not cool, bro. It's not cool. It's not cool to take the other coconut milk or steal other people's coconut milk that they got from their own coconut milk tree, right? It's like these rigid personalities, because I don't think personalities really even exist, they're not distilling their alchemical formulas, right? They're not distilling the process. They're not dissolving it. They're not letting that which is old die and then letting that which is being reborn being distilled and dissolved into something new. Because all energy is just energy, right? Everything that you see around you is just a form of energy consecrated into itself in some way, shape, or form. And everybody wants the energy of the man with the full sack and feels the energy of the man with the full sack because he is one with himself. He's becoming one with himself. I don't think people realize just how much everything can make sense when you allow yourself to dissolve into being in of itself with the soul of existence. With the soul of existence, God, whatever you want to call it, I call it the soul of existence for all of the new Regal Change subscribers. The soul of existence for me is more about letting God work through you as God wants to or needs to. It's not necessarily going to be about trying to force something. Have you ever noticed anytime anything is forced, and this is something a lot of religionists do and atheists as well, just people who are super rigid no matter what type of view they have of life, whenever they're hyper rigid in their viewpoints, they seem to have this expression of excessive control, and they're completely unable to apologize, forgive, say thank you, or really even love people in any way, shape, or form from a place of authenticity. There's a great ancient Hawaiian mantra, you could say. It's not necessarily a mantra, but it's Ho'oponopono. And a Ho'oponopono is consisting of four main parts. It's I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And these four things are essential to recognizing our own relationship to ourselves and to other people. And so when you go to kill, steal, or destroy, you are, and you might be doing this unnecessarily or unconsciously, like you might have good intentions, let's say, but your body remembers, like your conscious mind acts on what your conscious mind knows, but your body acts in accordance to what your unconscious programs are. Okay? So you might have good intentions on the conscious level, but what matters is going to be the event that occurs from that. So we're looking more at the event time rather than the watch time, okay, when it comes to these types of situations. And those that are Regal Change old timers are aware of this in the Regal timeline theory. There's the three different types of time. There's individual time, which is the way that time is experienced through the individual. There's watch time, which is objective time. We can see the sun rises and sets. The moon has phases, right? We can look at our actual watches to tell time, right? Then we have event time. Now, event time is non-linear. Okay, event time is non-linear, so things can happen as an event for the same event, different people experiencing that one event. And yet we can all get different types of perspectives of that one event because we're all coming from a place of different perspectives looking at that singular event of objectivity or subjectivity. But going back to Ho'oponopono, Ho'oponopono is such a great technique. Let's say you are healing your relationship with lust, for example, right? You can say to your past self or to your future self, depending on how you want to look at it. Because there's different versions of your past self as well as different versions of your future self, right? So you might be able to say something like, I'm sorry, past Joe. I'm sorry, past Joe, for giving into these excessive temptations that did not help me or my well-being. Please forgive me, past Joe, for falling into these temptations. Thank you for forgiving me, past Joe. I love you, past Joe. And then you move on. You don't really try to like mean it, of course mean it, but don't try to be stuck in this shame, okay? Because you only experience shame because that's kind of well, it kind of goes back to the parable of the goats and the sheep with Jesus Christ, right? Like when Jesus Christ talks about the parable of the goats and the sheep, and I'm not preaching here, I'm just giving an example. The parable of the goats and the sheep, the goats, they didn't remember seeing anybody when they were down and out, basically. But the sheep who helped all the people when they were down and out, they didn't even remember they helped the people. So they just were good people, right? They didn't need to like learn how to be good. They just were good. Whereas the goats, they were not really good people. And they didn't even remember not even seeing the people that were in need of help. So they were completely blind to the people that needed them most. In the parable, Now, this is a great parable because it demonstrates exactly the types of people you're going to encounter as a man with a full sack. Everybody's going to want your fruit because you actually have good fruit. And look, over the past few years, I mean, especially the last 10 years altogether, but the last few years specifically, I've been taken advantage of. I've been stolen from. I've had more than enough investments and friendships and all these things that I thought were going to last, didn't last. And I'm not a victim, though. I'm not a victim. I'm still a creator, even though I don't identify with the creator. I'm not busying myself with identifications anymore. I'm not busying myself with anything external as far as what validates my status or who I think I am or suppose that I am. I'm not focused on these things anymore. Instead, what I'm focused on is just being, and just being one with myself and the soul of existence, and seeing that the entire existence that we live in is so abundant and so graceful, and it's all grace. Even the suffering is a form of grace, because every form that is here in the material world is going to experience suffering of some kind. That's just like every expression of the soul of existence is going to experience suffering. When Buddha says life is suffering, it's exactly what he means. Life in the physical plane is going to be suffering in one way, shape, or form or another. It just is the way that it is, because we are, in a sense, learning how to escape matter. That's what alchemy really is, right? That's what the alchemical gold, turning of lead into gold is. And it's the integration of the shadow and the anima and the animus, right? This is the integration process from Carl Jung's perspective. And I just finished a class that is now available in the Regal Academy for the integration of the shadow, and something I talk a lot about. And I gave this a sneak preview for everybody in the Academy, but one thing I've mentioned in there that I'll mention here is that, the symbol of the Ouroboros, I've been doing a lot of research into that over the past couple weeks, and, well, really at large. Like, I've always known about the Ouroboros, but in specific, preparation and building of this class, I had to get specific data points from certain alchemical texts to ensure that there's going to be a proper symbolic representation of the integration of the shadow. So the Ouroboros is the snake that eats itself, right? And this is part of the everlasting quality of life. There is no life without death, and there's no death without life. This is one of the other reasons why Jesus Christ says, "I'm the resurrection and the life," because that is the Ouroboros, is the resurrection and the life. It's the thing that's consistently eating itself to have life. Life is going to take care of itself, and this whole existence is so graceful and so giving. And if you look around, I mean, who asked for all of this greatness? Did you ask for the snow-packed mountains? Like when I look outside right now, because it's a beautiful day out, it's a bit chilly though. Like, it looks way warmer than it is, because we've had a couple of rainstorms and snowstorms the last couple days here in the mountains. But I think it'll be pretty good for weather after this next week. We'll be hitting the spring, almost summer vibe, and I really like that time. I really like that time. There's the old saying of April showers brings May flowers. Well, here in the mountains, it's April snow flurries bring May flowers. So, so yeah, it's a bit different. But anyway, I mean, I didn't ask for the sun to always be shining and giving us warmth. I didn't ask for the beauty of the trees. I didn't ask for the beauty of life and the birds to sing. I didn't ask for any of this that I know of, but I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful for it. And this is what a lot of people, they're going to come to you when you actually have an integrative shadow or anima or animus to some degree, or you're just even at least a little bit self-aware, and you're able to discipline yourself sexually to where you have a full sack, right? this is going to be, for many people, they're not going to be able to handle what you're doing and how you're doing it, but they're going to want your fruit, and they're going to try to steal your fruit, and they're going to try to make it theirs. And what you have to recognize is that this is part of the process, but there's also like no copyright on truth, right? Like there's really no copyright on truth. Truth is going to be what truth is. That's what truth is it's going to be what it's going to be, and it's going to be how it's going to be forever, and it always was being. That's why truth is timeless, because there are truthful reals that are always going to be part of a reality. Like it's just a truth in certain realities, because there's a difference between truths and real, like realities, right? This is why I talk a lot about recently anyway, about ignoring reality. And a lot of people will hear that and they'll be like, what a ludicrous statement. Like, ignoring reality? Yeah, just ignore all the suffering in the world. They think that you're being insensitive. But what you're actually saying when you say ignore reality is like, there's something truthful to be seen. Okay, focus. You get what you put your attention on, and you receive what you put your attention on. So if you're focusing on the horrors of the world, guess what you're going to have? Horrors of the world, man. And it's not to say, like, you get to a point where you're not even attached to the highs of life as you are to the lows of life. Like, yeah, you want to ride the good waves, but that's all that it is. It's a good wave. Have you ever been to the beach? Oh man, I love going to the beach. I haven't been to the beach for quite some time, but I had a dream quite a long time ago of going to the beach in Oregon and playing my guitar. And I decided I was going to make that happen. I was like, I want to do that. So I'm going to make this dream a reality, right? Because the dream was already real in of itself, but it wasn't like was it a true experience? Well, the body remembers it as a true experience. Like our imagination remembers things as true experiences, right? Like that's why it's so powerful to have a vision, is because the body doesn't really know the difference between experiencing something out here and experiencing something imaginally in the mind. The body just understands that that's what the experience seems to be. So yeah, that's why this is an electromagnetic interface, right? The body and the soul and the mind as one are an electromagnetic satellite. And then our nervous system is a solar timeline interface in which we communicate with light. So in your imagination, there's going to be light, right? Like you can imagine, let's say, a dancing purple elephant. You can imagine a dancing purple elephant. But where is that light coming from? Because it's not coming from out here, it's coming from in here. So there's a form of light that is beyond this realm that you can access. And that is exactly what we're talking about here. So you don't need to prove anything to anybody when you have this light. You just are experiencing those things. So all this goes to say is that you are more than capable of curating your reality and creating your reality. Just let go. Just let go a little bit. Let go and be one with yourself and be one with the soul of existence, because this is all a great video game. It's all a great illusion, but the truth is in the illusion that there's beauty, and you don't have to be attached to anything, because you don't have to busy yourself with it. You're just gonna be, forget time and just be in eternity. So that's part of having the fruit of the full sack, is you're always going to have fruit.